hey, Patreon, Mount Olympus Reptiles, and we literally just turned the camera back on right after turning it back off. Is this staged? Well, of course, but it's staged the way we pulled up and said, hey, do you mind if we film? And then we did it. So have you ever done like filming before?
Nope, never.
So what do you think?
It's awesome. It's fun. Why not?
Does it cause you to be nervous at all or anything?
Nah, I'm never nervous.
Good deal. So if we deliver and you want to film, it's not that nerve-wracking, I guess, is the point.
Have fun with it.
Absolutely, because we try to film everything. It's like, if you guys start doing your own YouTube, one thing you'll find is you're always looking for content. So anything you can film, do film. Does it mean you'll use everything? We've probably filmed a few things we haven't used, but for the vast majority, we're gonna use everything we film at some point or another. So just, if you start that, remember, film everything you can, because it's way easier if you do that. Any other thoughts on those that you wanna share with Patreon about the experience of dealing with there?
No, you guys are great guys to deal with.
Good.
Took care of them quite well, it seems, so.
Yeah, one thing we don't do is, you know, when we have to wait this long, some places are gonna like, well, we're only gonna feed every other week or something like that.
No, but it's clear that Xanthic's been eating.
She eats like a pig.
She's fat.
She'll eat anything. We feed, like when we're holding like that, we just feed through, like we just feed her collection every week. We feed them every week. You know, we don't try to like slow it down or like not feed them, as long as they're gonna fit in a box to ship. That's the only concern. We've had a few like, ooh, we gotta lighten that up or I'm not gonna get you in the box. I think we've had something like 250 grams we were holding out and shipped off. So we keep them feeding for you. We do have to wait. So I do apologize to wait for some of you guys, but this makes now in the last, let's see, we were going through this since last Monday, 14 total snakes that have left our facility and gone to their new home. I know I got some more shipments to set up and do, so we'll be getting more and more of them out, thankfully, because new babies are coming. We're 4 clutches deep. Are you doing any pairing this year?
Firefly and Killer Bee Xanthic, so.
That's the music.
Yeah.
That was Kid Rock. Not the real one, but the music. So Firefly and SK Xanthic.
Yep.
So what's the long-term plans here?
Fire Xanthic, honestly, Killer Bee.
Killer Bee Xanthic?
Yeah, Killer Bee Xanthic,
and
all
mixing
the way.
that fire into it as well?
Yeah, and then I've got Pied, and I got this Het Pied. Hopefully we can get the Pied going and get some lightnings rocking on that, so who knows?
So you're going to go
slow and steady. I'm no hurry at all.
You know, with recessive though, slow and steady is the way to do it, and you'll kind of build it and you'll get where you want to be. And we're still in the same boat. I mean, this year's our first chance at producing our own Killer Bee Xanthic, and we may or may not. Like, I mean, it's like a 1 in 16 odd, and I think she usually gives me 8 or 9 eggs. So probably, you know, it's like flipping a quarter almost. But it's really, when you do that recessive, especially with like Xanthic, where the look of that animal, picking your holdbacks is so important, and picking the ones you add is so important to get the look you want. You're actually going to probably beat me, it sounds like, to the Firefly stuff. Yeah. Because I'm probably a year or two off to get to try that.
Probably, but I mean, I'm in no hurry.
No, but
it's fun to take your time and play with them and let them grow up. I don't power feed or anything, so
nope, me neither.
Let them take 3-4 years if they need it for the females. Fine, go for it.
Kurt can relate to that, can't you, Kurt?
Yeah.
How are those clown clutches coming?
Hopefully you get one. This is our 4th year on them.
We got 4 hets that are all 3 years old. You know, usually by 3 years old we're breeding, and they're all like, eh. We got 2 that are maybe that hit the weight like late in the season, so we're trying them and we'll see, but I'm not holding my breath. So he's just like, really? Why is the stuff you're trying to do it all against there? But these clowns are fighting us. But next year will be a clown factory, because little het clowns we picked up and the spider clown, they're beasts. They'll both be ready to go next year. And then we should have 4 het clowns ready to go next year, hopefully, because Kurt really wants some clown, and I feel bad.
We're going to have a clown army, though. They're all going to hit at once.
They will be. It'll be Kurt's little, like, we'll call it the end of saying the ICP. ICCP. It'll be a CICP, Kurt's Insane Clown Posse. Could go that way. Guys, help us like come up with a name for all of our clown groups we're going to have next year. All right, anything else you want to add before we go?
Nope.
You got anything to add before we go?
Thanks for supporting.
Yeah, that's my line. I got to thank all of you and you. That support is awesome, because it does so much. Because we're actually on our way. There'll be 2 videos that come out, but you'll have to get them in space at a time. And this is going to probably force Kurt to do one first. Sorry. But we are on our way to pick up something else that, because of your support, we're able to do. Because, well, it's a donated animal for the reptile zoo and for us. We wouldn't be able to keep it, because my wife would have said, oh, hell no, if it wasn't for the reptile house. So you guys see something really cool that I'm getting to add that I've been really excited about, something I really want to do for a long, long time. Opportunity came and we were able to seize it, and that is in big part because of what you guys have done for us. So thank you very, very much. All right, let's go. back to your day. We got to go pick up a power strip to
right.
service this cage, and then we're going to go pick up the other one.
All right.
Hey Patreon, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. I got 2 things I want to talk about in this video, but stay with us on it, because you may get a chance to get a heck of a good deal on this video. But first, show us that one female we were talking about before we started doing this.
Oh.
The one that's set on the clutch.
This is a super butter female. She just laid, well, I say just, she laid on February 21st. New tub, new bedding, new everything. She has not gone back on feed for me, and as you can see, she's sitting on a phantom clutch.
So we were talking about some of the things that you can do if you ever find yourself in this situation. And I can't promise you it'd work, you know, because he's already tried a lot of the things I'd try, but there's 2 things left I'd suggest. One of them is give that snake a bath and actually take a washcloth that's in that same and rub that snake down. Because you're trying to get rid of all that scent, and it may be on her body. That's the one thing we haven't addressed, right? That could still cause that to be a phantom clutch. What we mean by phantom clutch is the eggs have been pulled, but she doesn't realize that. So she's trying to incubate nothing. There's nothing there. They're in an incubator, but she's still trying. The other thing is, some of your females, if you ever have one that's laying, I know a lot of you guys are starting to have clutches. Some of you have had a lot. Some of you are having your first clutch, and you're trying to get that female back on. Like even my big, huge pastel girl, we have to usually put her on mice for a little while. So if you have one that's not wanting to eat right away, go with a small item. And I think it's all a confidence thing. So you've taken that snake, we've stolen their eggs, we kind of like giving them a really bad day, right? And the confidence level of what's going on, and they're weak from going through all that, is low. But that easy, quick to catch, easy to digest meal helps them build that confidence, get that strength back up, and you can get them back on big meals. So that's a few of the things that I think he's going to try now, is a little body wash and some small meals. All right, we ready for the second part?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. Like I told you, I don't buy adults a lot, or sub-adults or anything, unless I know the source. Well, I know this source. He's helped me at shows. We've done shows in Manhattan, like side by side. He's also really well connected with Reed, and you guys know what I think about tall grass reptiles. So there's a lot of connections there. He also works in the same field I do, so there's that. And so a real trustworthy source. But one of the things I always ask when people are selling adults is why. And you'll get a couple answers, maybe just out of rack space or whatnot. Well, in this instance, it's a life-changing event, right? A happy one.
Yep, absolutely.
So what's a happy event?
Well, so this was all kind of just a perfect storm. And, I mean, you know, you and I had long, drawn-out texting conversations about, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. So, early January, we had a baby.
Yep.
And I work in law enforcement. My wife works in law enforcement. And you know how crazy the hours can get.
Oh, yeah. And they're in a bigger place than me, so theirs is a little crazier.
So, but then I would go do that, and I would come home, take care of my collection, and then I work days, and I'm not a morning person, so I have to go to bed super early. So by the time I get done with this, I'd spend an hour and a half, with the wife, depending on what time I got off work, with the wife and baby, and that kind of didn't make her too happy.
Right.
So she had kind of decided, hey, maybe you should downsize a little bit.
Right.
Well, at that point, as you can see, I really haven't decided what I want to specialize in yet. And you'll see empty and sold on a lot of these because just snakes that have gone to the show or sold online or whatever. I really haven't decided what I want to specialize in yet. So I decided I don't have enough. I need more. I can't downsize. On top of that, the supplier that I was buying rats from on the weekends, I would go up to KCK and help her clean out her rat barn, and that drove my food costs way down.
Right.
Well, then right as the wife and I were talking about all of this, she got out of rats. So there goes my food costs.
Right.
So I really found myself in an impasse where I had 2 choices. I can either, unfortunately, get out of this for right now, or I can, because I had a small 1-rack rat breeding group that I kind of started keeping just to kind of supplement.
Which is way more work too, right?
Right. Well, but that was my other choice, is then blow up my rat production and then spend even more time taking care of stuff. So, I mean, the choice at that point was obvious.
Right.
So.
And family has to come first. We've said that 100 times. And you got a new baby and you got a wife, you got to keep that happy, right? And it's kind of like if he was doing all the work, that Kurt and I split. So.
Right.
Thunder, hear that? We got to drive home in a storm. That's going to be fun. So anyway, but what's going on with that is you're getting rid of the vast majority of your animals, getting down to a couple pets and maybe a few pet projects, I'm assuming. And one of the things he's going to show you a few snakes that he's got to offer and let you know what the price is. And he's agreed for anybody on our Patreon that's at the level up that you would get a discount at a show. He's going to honor that discount for you. So we're going to post his information here to contact him if you're after any of these animals or if any of these animals fit your plans. And then, you know, he can give you a full list. Or if he sends me a price list, I'll post it for everybody.
It's actually on my Facebook page, Viking Reptiles KC. So
Viking Reptiles KC, go check that out on Facebook. That'll help you too. And then, and like I said, if you're at that $15 level and up, just let him know. He can verify through us, and he'll honor that 15% discount, which is pretty awesome. So thank you for that, because I know they appreciate, you know, that. And I honestly don't make enough animals right now to keep everybody, I think, happy all the time. I'm trying. I'm going to get better, I promise. That's why I'm adding more snakes, so I can make more for you guys. So getting that honored is a big thing. So let me trade spots with Kurt, so that way
actually,
he can see.
hang on a second.
Oh, hang on. I got to hang on a second.
So if we're going to show some snakes, since I know everybody, well, maybe not everybody knows about this gene, but everybody that I've talked to that knows about it likes it, and since you guys work with it all the time.
Oh, everybody on Patreon knows about this gene.
I'll pull her out and I'll let you talk about her.
So what he's got here,
and she's about 1,800 grams.
Is an adult female Blitz. So has you bred her yet?
No.
So she's not been bred yet ever, but she's at 1,800 grams. She's breed weight, so you don't have to wait 3 years, which is always a big bonus. And this line of Blitz, is the same as my line. So it came from Reed at Tallgrass. And that's why you can see how busy the pattern is. It's very nice. You'll see the hooking into the pattern in here and other places all throughout it. And he told me it was from Reed, and I looked at it and I said, yep, that's Reed's work, because they were one of the original people to work with this gene a lot. And consequently, they seem to have a certain look. I have seen other Blitzes from other places that I'm not as impressed with. Their pattern just isn't as busy, but when it comes from Tallgrass, it'll have this really, really nice look to it. Part of them end up having gravel in them too, I believe, which is really hard to identify, but I know a lot of their Blitz does. And there were some other things they were trying to isolate in there for a while. I think they were calling it the plus gene, if memory serves. That's what Eric
that was a little before
working.
my time.
Yep, so there's a lot that goes into their Blitz. Here you go. It's probably one of the best examples of where that pattern's trying to come in and hook. You can really see it there, and you can just really see how busy that pattern is. So anyway, you can get yourself an adult female Blitz, and this thing, I'm guessing, it's pounding rats, because it's definitely healthy. So what were you asking for this one here?
I've got her listed at 600.
So he's got her listed at 600. And is that with shipping or needing shipping?
That's unshipped.
Unshipped. So 600 unshipped. But remember, if you're at that, you're going to go up my shirt. Hey, we're not that close. Come on. Now you just want me to show the guns off. There you go. Oh, that scared you. Sorry about that, girlie. So remember, though, if you're on the tiers and you do want this snake and you're going to get that 15% discount, so that'd be 15, 30, 45, 60, 80, 95. My math is good. Is that right? The math good, Kurt? 615s for $600?
Yeah.
So that would come down to, like, you're going to be looking at just over 5. And she's already an adult, so that's kind of cool. Let me hand that one back. Is there any other ones you want to kind of show off over here?
Sure, I can show off that one I was trying to sell you.
Honestly, this is a cool snake, and I debated about it. And what kept me from doing it was the fact that we have a lot of bills coming up with the reptile house to get the kitchen done and get that ready for you guys to come stay in as quickly as possible. So I know it's going to cost me about $1,000 to get the countertops hung, and then several more $1,000 to get countertops on top of the cabinets. So I'll let you talk about this one.
So this is a pastel pied female. She is, as memory serves, and my scales are downstairs because I haven't quite unpacked everything from the show last week yet. As memory serves, she's sitting right at about 1,200 grams, so not quite there, but she's eating like a champ, so she'll be there in no time. So
right about 1,200 grams, and what are you asking for her then?
I've got her listed at 900 right now.
Okay, so 900, again, there's that 15% discount. And remember, this animal, so like it's 1,200, 1,300 grams, you said, right?
Right in there.
So it's going to be breeding next season, most likely, if everything goes even halfway right. And if this was a breeding pastel pied, the the way you'd price that is you put it on the scale and whatever the number the scale shows. So you're really, and you still wouldn't be bringing it until next season because we kind of missed the boat on this season, right? So really on this animal, if you did pick something like this up, you're going to be basically breeding it as soon as you would if it was a proven breeder. And you're going to be saving, well, in this case, over $400 off what it would if it had produced eggs already, the going market rate. Because that pied market's held forever.
Not quite off season yet. That one you're getting, she's just coming into her season.
Is she really?
She laid in August for me last year.
Really? Well, then guess what we're going to do when we get home? We're going to start pairing some leopard. Probably not tonight. We got that black box to deal with. But we will be pairing some of that leopard then soon. You can still, like I say, take a shot at pairing for sure. But I know most of my males are kind of like, eh. So I can get enough pairings in her, we may be able to get a clutch out of her. All right, guys. So he has his entire list posted. Shout that out one more time for me.
Viking Reptiles KC on Facebook.
Viking Reptiles cases. Go check it out. See anything you're after. And like I say, I always love when people will work with us and to help you guys out and honor those discounts. I'm working on getting some from an equipment company, but they were supposed to have my equipment to me quite a while ago, and it got screwed up, so I didn't get it. They had to get it redone because one of their vendors screwed the color up. So we should get another discount for you soon on some of that, as everything goes well. And then I'm still trying to work on one other person to do a sponsorship and some discounts. I'm trying. Work with me here.
We
We'll work
have
our
a
best.
second.
We do have a second.
This one we talked about, and I'll let you explain the significance of this one.
Yeah. So what this is a pastel calico, and she's an adult female as well. She is proven. So she's a proven breeder. What's she weigh? About 2,300?
I haven't weighed her in a while, but
I'm going to bet that's close. My hand scales are not always accurate. However, what makes this snake special is who produced it. And this snake was produced by Ben Rennick. And for those of you who have been around a long time, you kind of know the story of Ben. And if you haven't been around for a very long time in the hobby, that story may be getting a little bit old enough now that you haven't heard. But Ben Rennick was a guy that had been into reptiles for a very long time. He was at every show. He was a fairly large breeder out of Missouri. And everybody loved Ben. Ben was a happy guy, a smiling guy. He was a nice guy. He was a family man. Had a wife, had several kids, and this was his passion. He turned into a workable business for him and his family. And his facility was broken into, and not all the details are out yet, but in part of that, he was shot and killed pretty much in cold blood. So back then, there was a lot of things that people were trying to do for the Rennick family because they just lost, she lost her husband, the children lost their father, and they also lost basically their business, because that's what he did, right? And this snake was produced by Ben Rennick, which makes it kind of special because, well, unfortunately, Ben's never going to produce another snake. We even did some videos about how sad that was, and I think we donated a snake to charity for Ben that year, and a lot of other people did as well to help his family out. And I don't think there's ever been an arrest made on that yet that I've heard of.
Not that I've heard of.
I've checked trying to find news stories on it, and I haven't seen anything, which is also unfortunate. So hopefully, that'll happen one day, and if you happen to know who did that, may they rot in hell. But that's what makes a snake pretty special, just because of who made it. And it's also a really pretty pastel calico, and you can really see, well, if I can get her to not hold on to me so tight, that calico influence in these pastels. Calico and pastel tend to react together pretty well. So what you get, especially in that back, is that white comes up usually about half the snake like that, and you get that crazy tail pattern. And you guys know me, I love my calico stuff. And I'll tell you what, I know they're both females, but if you get this, which is the Blitz I'm pointing out, in with this, you guys have seen what Blitz Calico does. And that combination's only ever been done with those two genes so far as I know. We're going to add some lightning genes to bring more color. Pastel's one thing I want to get in there eventually because the way it reacts, I think it's going to be really crazy in the back end. So if you have a male Blitz or a male Blitz combo lying around, this snake would be really excellent to pair it to. I'll hand that back to you. Anything you want to add about that one?
Nope.
It's a pretty snake. And if you don't know who Ben is, he did do some YouTube videos. I don't think he was really heavy on YouTube. There's some out there. But he was just... nobody, in this community, if you've been around, especially the Facebook, everybody's bitching about somebody, right? Everybody's going to, people bitch about me. They bitch about Barczyk like it's their job. They're going to bitch about somebody. I don't think I ever heard anybody bitch about Ben Rennick.
No, and
Not
if you go
once.
look at the YouTube videos, he's got quite a few of his facility. And I'm not even joking when I say I'd eat off the floor in that place.
Oh, yeah, it's like sterile hospital clean. And it was a bummer because he kind of lived out in the country, which I can respect. I'm the same way that somebody would do that. And over what? Probably some snakes or some money, and that's never worth a human life. So, anyway, probably pisses both of us off being in law enforcement, too, because we're like, God, we want that guy to get caught so bad. And, like, I guess he could go to jail if he had to, but I don't care if he doesn't. There's other solutions to that, right? I won't get into that before I incriminate myself one day. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.